What is happening in the Caribbean? We see there is a military escalation between the United States of America and Nicolas Maduro's Venezuela in what appears to be an attempt to disown or to destroy drug cartels linked back into various Caribbean countries. I want to have a question to Norman Floyd Barnes, who is in America. You know that the U.S. has deployed the USS Erie, which is a guided missile warship towards the Caribbean earlier on, and we know that there has been a military buildup in the Caribbean waters. Over 4,000 personnel of the U.S. and almost 10 F-35 fighter jets in Puerto Rico and surrounding areas, citing a counter-narcotics mission. Mr. Norman Floyd Barnes, we know that Donald Trump is someone who is actively trying to avoid war and confrontations across the entire globe, but there is something very different about his targeting of Latin American countries, especially Venezuela. What is your understanding? How you see this event unfolding?
Yes, so this is a very interesting contrast. As you mentioned, the narrative is to avoid war, yet we now call ourselves, our Pentagon is now being converted under his direction as the Department of War. The narrative has changed from a defensive posture to a offensive posture of war. So basically, he's planning, and his administration is now taking the mindset of taking the offensive to crime, immigration, and issues regarding, we talk about drug and trafficking around the world. The Caribbean has been point out. The task force has been deployed to the area. They just added additional warships staged in Puerto Rico, is to take the offensive. They were given clear instruction to any signs of aggression. They are instructed to take action. Any attempts to attack the ships, fly over planes, they were given approval to take military action. The planes are planning to have a staging, a direct attack on these drug facilities inside of Venezuela. Venezuela has, in contrast, alerted and blown up their military to the point where they are saying they're going to defend and fight. So we're looking at a very contentious situation that may, in my opinion, boomerang for the United States. Starting with Venezuela, we now, that whole Latin America area is now looking at the situation. What is America planning to do? What is the United States planning to do? I'm sorry, in that region. So that Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world right now in that area. And the government has also expressed their concern about the administration over there, the president. The president do not recognize, and actually they have a bounty on his head, and it's all under the auspices of drug trafficking and threatening to the United States. That in turn comes back to the crime fighting efforts in the United States to combat the influx of drugs, fentanyl, and other drugs into the United States. So at the same time that we are planning to attack the sources of the drugs, they also are planning to, in the United States, attack the major cities, the large cities, the blue cities, which is viewed as drug havens, crime havens, and areas that need report. So basically, we're looking at the federalization, the justification of the federalization of the cities, to put in what we call a state of emergency, where we can put the military in the streets to fight this global crime efforts in the streets of the United States. So this is all very, I'll say convenient, but it appears to be a plan, a global plan to address the issues in the United States in regarding to health, safety, and drug fighting. So basically, we're looking at one, fighting crime, and also creating a situation where we can now have a presence in the area where there's a large source of oil. Oil is a big issue. We're talking about the move away from Russia, using Russia oil to using United States oil. So we're looking at additional resources, and the resources are right now located in the Venezuela off the coast of there.
Vice President J.D. Vance defended the boat strike as the highest and the best use of the American military. However, he was sharply criticized by Republican Senator Rand Paul, who warned against extrajudicial actions without due process. We know that Donald Trump is also fighting Harvard University, and the court is now also stating that his foreign tariff war that he has caused is also illegal. I want to just understand Norman Floyd Burns' view on this matter. A growing number of Republicans don't meet eye to eye with their leader, Donald Trump. How do you see this?
Yes, actually, there's a very interesting. They just had a poll that came out, it's coming out this morning about the uh, approval of the president's performance. Uh, the job performance of the viewed by the people of the United States has stated that they have a disapproving opinion of how he's performing his job. This is a cross the board opinion, including his supporters, including his party, including the Democrats, including everyone. The overall feeling right now is that the U.S. adult expressed a bipartisan opinion that the overall performance of the president and his administration is basically right now at 43%. Basically, 4 out of 10 approve of his efforts, and 50 we're looking at over 57% disapprove. So this is a very concerning point as we move on to the midterm elections. Uh, 39% are not happy with inflation. Of course, you know, the issue about border patrol, border security, immigration. Only 47% approve of that. The deportation and border security, only 43%. So now we're going down, down, down in the approval rate and what's going on. So the tariff situation, only 41% of the total population approve of his handling of this process. So the opinion of the general public is basically declining as we move forward. Every day we move on to another matter, and the public, including his party, is now questioning the move. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this now? And what benefit do we get out of that? So right now, there's no benefits viewed by the United States in these actions. It's apparently backfiring, causing China, Brazil to seek other alternatives, and they are now confused on exactly why are we doing this.
Thank you, Mr. Norman Floyd Burns. Before we proceed on, I want to have a last question, but let us have a look in the Middle East. We know a few days back, Prime Minister of Yemen was killed in an Israeli airstrike, and in retaliation, sirens fail as Houthi drone hits arrival halls at Ramon Airport in southern Israel, according to the authorities. Of course, the Israeli Defense Force did not say anything regarding the incident and was under review. And of course, between Israel and Gaza, they are destroying more than 50 buildings across Gaza, and according to Mahmoud Basal, the Palestinian civil defense spokesperson. I want to get your last comment, Mr. Norman Floyd Burns, regarding the Middle East and how you see Houthi and Hamas and how their rhetoric is towards the Israeli aggression inside the Gaza Strip.
Well, the situation is getting very tense. Hamas is obviously getting help. The missile from Yemen got through. They are getting help. The hypersonic missiles are now penetrating. They found out how to penetrate different ports. The airport was hit this recently. This is going to be a trend regarding the area, what's going on. The president has mentioned that Hamas need to come to the table and agree to the ceasefire. But Israel is steadily moving towards a victory. They want to completely take over Gaza. So we have to watch this situation because it appears that there's going to be more conflict. There's going to be a counterattack to Israel. Israel will probably feel this a lot more, and at the same time, the people in Israel are not happy. I just understood that there was a attack in Jerusalem recently,
Yes.
I think in the last hour or so, where people was killed. We don't know the source of that, but either internally or externally, Israel is now going to feel the pinch of their actions.